So to make this super easy chai tea latte at home, all you'll need are 2 bags of English breakfast tea, 1 cinnamon stick, 5 whole black peppercorns, 3 cloves, 3 cardamom pods, 2 centimeters of ginger, some star anise. You'll also need some brown sugar, ground cinnamon, milk, and this can be any type of milk. Usually full fat milk is used with chai tea lattes, however I went for almond milk. And you'll also need some water. And in terms of the utensils that you'll need 2 pans, so 1 to heat up the tea and 1 to heat up the milk. You potentially need a jug. It depends on how you want to pour your tea into your mug. You'll also need a pestle and mortar ideally, but I only have the pestle, so I used a chopping board as well. And then you'll also need a small sieve and potentially a hand blender, depending on how frothy you want the milk to be. So firstly, using your pestle, you just want to gently crush your cardamom pods as well as your whole peppercorns as well. And then once you've done that, you just want to kind of put that away into a small dish. Then next you want to break your cinnamon in half, and then again using that pestle, just crush the cinnamon sticks itself till it turns into these small pieces. And once you've done that, again, you just want to transfer that from your board into a small dish. And then next, what you want to do is take your pan that you intend to make the tea in, heat this up, and then what you want to do is then throw your mix of cinnamon, cardamom, and whole peppercorns that you crushed, as well as your cloves and your ginger as well as that star anise. You don't want to forget that. And just roast these for possibly like a few seconds. And then once you've done that, you then want to pour your water into that pan, which should start to steam and bubble up straight away because that pan is already hot. And whilst your tea is in the process of boiling, what you want to do is take those 2 tea bags of English breakfast tea and then just pop them into the pan as well with that water, so then that whole mixture starts to brew up. So while your tea is slowly cooling off on one side, I took my second pan and poured in my almond milk and then brought that to a boil as well. So when that was naturally boiling up, it started to froth up naturally, and that's the reason why I actually didn't need a hand blender in the end to add in that extra frothiness. So once that had kind of reached to a boil and then the froth started rising to the top of the pan, I switched off the pan itself and kind of let that cool off for about a minute or so. So then next what I did was just went back to the tea, took the 2 tea bags out of the pan, and then transferred the tea into that glass Pyrex jug as well, just so that's easier to pour into a cup when it's ready. And then next I then got my cup and then poured the tea in using that sieve, so the pieces that I had broken earlier didn't go into the tea itself. And then I kind of poured that up until probably 3/4 of the way of the cup, just to reserve the rest of that space for that frothiness from that milk. And then next, taking that warm milk, what I did was just pour it into the tea, but at a slight height so that it could start bubbling up, as you can see here. But I was kind of hoping that the frothiness from the almond milk would make the tea even more foamy, but it actually wasn't. So I think next time when I make this, I'm definitely going to use full fat milk instead. And finally, just to zhuzh up your chai tea latte, all you want to do is just sprinkle a bit of that ground cinnamon on the top and then pop in a star anise as well, just so it sits and floats on the top looking pretty. But yeah, there you have it. It was super easy, super quick to make, and rather than buying from Starbucks, you might as well have a go at this at home yourself.